Hey friend, thanks for joining me. I was having a conversation on Reddit the other day. We were talking about how to make pad sounds more interesting, and I mentioned how I use delay and saturation to make the pads stand out a little bit in subtle ways. You know, not so that they're overpowering, but to give them a little bit of ear candy and movement. I'm going to break it down for you now. I hope you enjoy it. So if you like this and you want to see more, head to my website, electronicmusictips.com, where you can find my 6-step guide on how I make electronic music from start to finish. It's full of pro tips like this. Be sure to pick it up, and I hope you enjoy it. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to the Reddit user that I was having the conversation with a few days ago. He's an artist that goes by the name of Tetrat. This is his track, Big Boys. It's fantastic. I love the groove and the textures that are used, especially on the synth, the dirty kind of Mellotron vibe. Love it. And can't wait to hear more. You can check out Tetrat's music on Bandcamp and on YouTube. Like his music, subscribe to his channel, and head to his Bandcamp to buy his stuff. Please support him. He's doing some fantastic art. And thanks Timu for allowing me to include you on this quick video. Really appreciate it. Keep up the great work, and I can't wait to hear more from you. I wanted to take a minute to show you a really cool tool that I found online. It's a delay and reverb time calculator. It'll allow you to get the note values of different delays based on the BPM of your song. So for example, if you wanted a quarter note delay, you could enter your beats per minute up at the top, and it'll give you 483 for a quarter note. Or if you wanted to use dotted or triplet feel on the delay, enter the next two values. If you're doing techno or tech house, this is killer for building a groove. Be sure to support anotherproducer.com for posting this. This is a super tool. Alrighty, right. So here's the pad Ableton's Granulator II is amazing for making pads. I've got a MIDI track here with a couple of MIDI notes, low octave, and then at this change here, it'll add a high octave. So this is with everything all included. So that's the Granulator pad just on its own, okay? I've got with those two notes. And then what I've done is I've added a bit of saturation, a bit of like tape saturation effect, a bit of tape wobble, just to give it a little bit of interest. Here's the rest of it. I've got Ableton's tape malfunction with the amount way down. It comes cranked. And that's a really cool tape effect, actually. It's pretty authentic sounding. I'll shut up so you can hear it. Bit monotonous, but if you dial it back, it adds just a bit of flavor. Next is Clipper. It's saturator. This preset's called mid-range fattener. I've got that on there. The next one after this mid-range fattener, I put on a hot driven tape, Again, it's just a bit of saturation, nothing too fancy. I've got the drive all the way up on this, and then once we turn on the EQ here, I've taken out all of the low end. That'll just eat up your mix. There's no reason to have any of the bass frequencies there. And always use oversampling for the EQ 8. And then I've got the cutoff at, I don't know, anywhere around 100 hertz, maybe 110, 120. You know, so we're getting the mid-range, but not the low-end frequencies. And again, you can cut out the highs if you want. For an extra bit of movement, you could automate the EQ frequency. What's that, 8? You could automate it to this guy if you wanted. And you could stick an LFO on it as well, so that you're getting some more movement in the upper end frequency. I think we have to stick the LFOs on last. If I remember, in Ableton, you can't have any audio after the LFO. So if you wanted to modulate that macro that we just made, click map and click on the macro, and now it's going dance crazy wild. But we can dial it in by bringing the rate way down, and then also bringing the depth way down. We don't need it to be traveling that far, really. And then, so it's stuck eating up your mid frequencies. You can offset it right here so that it's just in the upper mid and high frequencies. And you can play around with that so that it adds a little bit more variation. And I like to keep these off of quantize. If you quantize everything, it's going to sound really robotic. Oh, that's nice. See, it just brings a bit of shimmer in and out. It's pretty cool. I like that. Then I've also got this going into 2 delays. I've got 1 delay, and that's panned hard left. We can turn that on. Oh, let me turn the second delay off just so you can hear it without. Okay, so now there's the Granulator pad without the delay. Here it is with it. All those really nice like tape wobbles, and the grit really starts to come out. So that's panned hard left. Then, so this effect send is going to the first delay. It's UAD space echo, and then the first delay is then I put it to the second delay, and that'll be panned hard right. Once you get the two interacting with each other, it makes for a super wide, lush stereo field. So here it is back in underneath the track. That's without the pad. And with So one last thing, I wanted to show you another way of doing this. If you don't want to set it up so that you're going to effects sends, we can turn that off. And on your pad channel, or track I should say, you can put an echo effect. In this case, it's under echo modulated delay, sorry, vintage delay, and this one's called Dub Syndicate. I just chose that because it had the name Dub in it. Anyways, with that on, it's a stereo delay, but you can unsync it, or sorry, you can unlink the left and right channel, and then you can have these at independent times. You can also choose to have these quantized or in sync with your track. I always leave that off. You can dial in, you know, the various time effects. And then down here, this is offset. The right channel doesn't have any offset, and the left channel is pushed back just a little bit. I think that's how the preset comes naturally. And a little bit of offset, it'll just add that much more kind of movement between the left and right speaker. Nothing else to actually mention other than this delay is fantastic. It almost has everything all under one hood. You've got the feedback here, the high pass filter. I've set it to 110, let's say, or 112 hertz and above, and then you can low pass it as well if you want to make it a little bit darker, but you know, adjust that to taste. Also, if you wanted, you could have the tape delay reverb, just like the other unit that I showed you from UAD. This under the hood reverb is actually like an emulation of a spring reverb that these old Roland RE201s had. It's the exact same thing. Playing with these times is going to make some really amazing phasing effects. Highly suggest you play around. Get used to how it sounds with the quick delay, a little bit longer delay, and then you'll find your sweet spot. So let me know in the comment section below what technique you're using for adding interest to your pad sounds. I'm always interested in hearing what you guys are up to. And don't forget, if you like this and you want to see more, head to my website, electronicmusictips.com, where you'll be able to pick up my free 6-step guide on how I make electronic music from start to finish. And don't forget, hit the like and subscribe button on the way out. It only takes a second. Bye, friend.